What is up, everybody? Gonna be talking about where the direction of this channel is gonna be going, and probably change the content. But so yeah, this channel has mainly been about like motivation and like my journey of me blogging, everyday life, my fitness journey, and also my schooling journey, going to university, and then finally getting a job after graduating. So on this channel, it's been from the start. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'll save my fitness channel, probably my fitness stuff. I'll probably keep it here on this channel, or I'll just go ahead and make a different channel for my teaching stuff. So what I really want to do is provide content for like new teachers, and advice, and then maybe do some reaction videos on like for example how kids act. We've all seen those videos where the teacher's screaming or getting out of hand or is in the wrong, or vice versa, the student is like throwing stuff. So I probably want to do some reaction videos to that, and also want to do some more videos about like just teachers in general and how we're treated and problems that we should resolve, things that are the teacher's fault, just like an open discussion. So that's mainly what I want, but like that's what I was just gonna announce on this channel, because I know we do a lot of like motivation stuff, and that's good, and we're gonna keep doing that. So yeah, so that's probably the change we're gonna go. But just to talk about some stuff, I really think we have we as a society, and later on I'll do some reaction videos of like the reasons why and the problem. We all want to blame it on COVID, which that is part of the problem. I was in college during COVID, and I had a lot of being home all day behind a screen did kind of affect the way I learned and the way I communicated, and my social norms, and how I socially spoke to people in the classroom and stuff. But we're really seeing it really strong with some students now, because a lot of them don't really have basic skills on how to like speak, how to act in a classroom, when to talk, when it's okay to express, how to behave, right? But those are always going to be there, right? You have to set those things. But the main concern I'm seeing is like there is no respect for teachers, whether it's mostly in public school. Now in private school and charter schools, it's a little different, right? You kind of want your kids to be there. They don't really have to be there, and they have like a strict policy of like dress code and how they behave, and sometimes you gotta like apply to get in there. So there's a little bit more pressure and incentive to want to be there. But when you're teaching public schools, you kind of get the paddle on both ends, meaning there is a negative connotation towards public school teachers, which I understand, like teaching them stuff, like for example teaching things that we really shouldn't be teaching them, like putting your own input, putting in your own like political beliefs or ideologies, and instead of focusing on the curriculum and the school part. So I do understand both sides of the argument. And then there's the other side of like when teachers don't really do anything, they're just indoctrinating kids, and there is some instances where they can push a little bit too much of their own beliefs. I try not to do that. I'm just there to teach what I have to teach, and I'm just there to make them have fun, and that's it. But then we get the other one where teachers is really supposed to be respected, but unfortunately what I'm starting to see is that we really aren't, and it's that's a big concern, because if you look at other cultures like Japan or Mexico or Europe, other countries, granted there's always going to be behavior issues, right? Sorry, I had to sneeze there. But there's always going to be behavior issues everywhere, obviously. That's everywhere in the world. But just the connotation and how parents and society abuses teachers, it's very bad here in America. Like I don't know like really what I know where the anger comes from. Teachers aren't perfect. There's bad teachers, definitely, just like there's bad students, right? Their behavior is, but really, like, there's no respect for teachers. And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of parents think it's a babysitting area. We're just babysitting, and we gotta just take care of them and accommodate everything, which our job is to accommodate and modify so the kids can learn. But at some point, sometimes from talking to other teachers who've been teaching for like 20, 30 years, 40 years, who are ready to, retire, is that, yeah, it's always been kind of bad, being a teacher. And you know what you signed up for is what everyone says. Oh, you don't like it, then you shouldn't have been a teacher. Oh, you can't handle the kids, then you knew what you're getting yourself into. But like at some point, that's not really resolving the issue. That's like saying, well, if your parents are treating you horribly, or if someone's treating you bad, well, you knew that person. You should have just let them know what you're doing. Part of that's right, but that doesn't really resolve the issue of that person that has like problems on how they treat you, right? So if that's what we're gonna keep bringing up, it's like, well, you should just quit. Then maybe you should start to work as a teacher. Yeah, I mean, that does make sense, but like that doesn't fix the issue. You're still gonna get a new generation that doesn't know how to respect, doesn't know the boundaries. And that's what I think the issue is that social media and what these kids are just always on the iPad, iPad kids, or they're always on TikTok, always on Snapchat. They're always trying to distract themselves. And granted, we're all like that, right? We go on YouTube Shorts, we're on TikTok, and we're just scrolling. Why? Because our brain needs something to process in short periods of time. Because our attention span is horrible. All these social media things, TV, and sometimes, I suffer from this. I have to put my phone down. It doesn't give us a good attention span, and that's the problem also in the classroom, is that society doesn't respect us. They just don't. And I've had this experience already many times as being a first year teacher. Some people do, but man, there's a lot that do not respect us. And then there's the second thing of, it's just kids are so hooked onto this algorithm on social media, where if they don't have their phone, they cannot learn, they cannot listen, and it's really a problem. Like, we used to think it was, I used to have my DS or my Game Boy and stuff, but the teacher said put it away, I put it away. But like now, these kids cannot live more than like 10 minutes without their phone. It's getting really bad, and all I see is TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, all that, and it's just, they're like in this cycle of like trance in their brain. Like it's like a trance. They're like just brain dead, and they're just scrolling. And you're talking to them, they don't listen to you. They don't know how to concentrate. They don't know how to, like, the social cue, when to put their stuff. It's really sad that, unfortunately, we're becoming a society in which we don't really mentally present there. And that's another problem, is that kids don't have a good attention span as they used to, right? They're not disciplined. And then when you contact the parents, unfortunately sometimes that doesn't really even do anything. So like, those are things that you need to think about when you're going to become a teacher or an educator, or just in general, is that you're always going to be on the backside. Like, you're always going to get pushback from the parents, or from the students, or from maybe your admin, if you have a good admin. But it's difficult being a teacher. I mean, it's really not. Like, sometimes I have to question myself, like, is this really what I want to do? Like, do I really want to be treated like this all the time? Do I want to be treated horribly? Like, I didn't work 4 years to teach music, and then like half the time I'm not even getting to the teaching fun music. It's just like behavior issues and respect. And probably part of that is, when you're young, they don't really take you seriously, or your classroom management, which I've been trying to get good at. But yeah, there's definitely a problem that we really need to fix as like a society, because there's just no respect for the teacher, and like, you'd be surprised of how some students act. It's like not the best. So what I want to do is, like, I want to start reacting to some videos, or giving my take on it, or sharing my stories, or doing stuff. Now, I'm not going to use exactly where I go or where I teach at and names. I'm just going to leave that, you know, not gonna say exactly, but I'll just give you an example with made up names and stuff. But if you have this problem, let me know, because it's been happening a lot more than usual. So stay tuned. We might make a second channel just for this type of stuff, or we might just split the channel in half or something. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching, and communicate if you have this problem or not.